guys, this is Patrick Sessoms with Due South Outfitters, fly shop and fly fishing guide service in Boone, North Carolina. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about flies. As many of you guys know, in North Carolina, our delayed harvest season starts pretty much March 1. So that's really soon. And every day we have folks come in the shop and ask us, what flies should I use? And so I thought I'd make this just to address folks that might not be able to get to a fly shop before they go fishing, or have kind of a professional's opinion on what flies they have in their box to delayed harvest fish or stock fish. I do want to preface this though. These flies that I'm mentioning are tuned for kind of western North Carolina and our area for stocked fish. So I'm sure folks will love to get on and comment and say, hey, you forgot this fly, you forgot that fly. These are just my personal preference for our area. If you know of other flies, please comment them in the comments. I'm sure other folks would love to hear about it. But nonetheless, let's get started. So, and like I said earlier, these are all flies that I do not leave home without when I'm fishing for stock fish on, like a delayed harvest style fishery. I'm going to start with kind of smaller flies and move to larger, but let's start with the midge. One of my favorite flies to fish, especially when these fish start getting a little picky, would be just a real simple zebra midge. I fish it in roughly a size 20 to a 24. Sometimes I'll go a little larger, fish like a 16 or an 18. But all in all, great little fly. Colors are like purple, black, olive, red. Those are all great colors. Brown too. I do prefer my midges to be tied with tungsten heads, just so they'll sink a little better. But yeah, all in all, zebra midge is a great fly to use, especially on these stockers when they start getting a little picky. Next fly, the rainbow warrior. Another great little fly, super flashy, got a little bit of weight in the bead head. The ones I do tie with tungsten heads once again, but all in all, really good attractor pattern. And I like fishing my rainbow warriors pretty small, size 18 down to about a 22. They do a really nice job, especially when trailed behind a little larger fly. Next one up, just a generic pheasant tail, guys. You can fish these in all forms. There's tons of different recipes to tie these in, but the pheasant tail is an absolute go-to with stock fish. Some folks prefer the flashback, the bead head, the non-flashback, the non-bead head. It's really personal preference. So get out, get you a few pheasant tail patterns, buy some, tie some, and just test them. See which one works best for you. I like a real simple pheasant tail. I carry these in my box all the way from size 14 down to a 22 and many different flavors. So give the pheasant tail a shot. Next fly, the Copper John. Another great fly. Comes in an array of colors. It's super heavy. Gets down really well in the water column. My personal preference is just the original OG copper. It's a great fly. Just a wonderful fly, especially for stock fish. Another couple of colors of the Copper John that I do carry a lot. Chartreuse, green, and red, and black. I do well in all those colors as well. Next fly up, the lightning bug. This particular version has a little CDC collar, so it's more of like a soft tackle lightning bug, but this is a wonderful fly. Super flashy, gets the attention of these stock fish. This one's got a tungsten head on it, and all in all, it gets down really well. Kind of a variation of a pheasant tail with a little more kind of disco ball flair to it, if you will. Really gets the trout going. We love lightning bugs in our area. I fish these in about a 14 down to a 20. Another wonderful fly I would not leave home without, the Holy Grail. If you've not fished the Holy Grail and you're a fan of soft tackle fishing, I would highly recommend it. Works well as a little caddis pupa. You can fish it soft and kind of let it swing through the riffles in an emergent style pattern. But it's a really good fly. Works well. It's got a little tungsten bead that's hidden, so it does get down in the water column. Another fly that we highly recommend for stock fish, the Prince Nymph. This is one of the real original fly patterns here, guys, and it still produces well. And y'all, there are a gazillion variations of the Prince. You got your Psycho Prince, your Dark Lord Prince, all kinds of stuff. But that general Prince Nymph kind of chassis, if you will, really, really produces a lot of nice fish, especially the stockers. One hint that I would make, don't be afraid to fish really small Prince nymphs. I like to fish them in the 18 to 20 range, do really well there. Anyways, good little fly. Another fly, Pat's rubber leg. Big old, bulky, ugly stonefly imitation. Really catches the attention of those stockfish. They love them. And then to kind of sum it out, we're going to talk about some real trout junk or trout candy, if you will. The squirmy wormy. If I had to pick one go-to fly to catch stockers, or let's say two flies, one would be the squirmy wormy. I like it in red, hot pink, and bright orange. They're all great flavors. And there's a bunch of different variations of the squirmy wormy. Ultimately, you know, it's built around the San Juan pattern, very similar to the San Juan, but it's rubber and bounces much more in the water column. The trout love these things, especially the stockers. If you don't have any, get some. They're wonderful. And then the egg. Let's face it, stockfish chow down on pellets the majority of their life. And an egg looks very much like a pellet. It's also bright, gets their attention. I would definitely recommend always carrying eggs and squirmy wormies as you stockfish, or fish for stockfish, if you will. Anyways, these are great flies. If you notice, I didn't really talk about dry flies, and dry flies are a whole different arena. But I will say, when I'm fishing for stockfish, the majority of the time I am nymphing. I will say, though, woolly boogers, small streamers, light streamers can be deadly on these guys too, so don't rule those out. The olive woolly booger, the black woolly booger, even an orange woolly booger are some of my favorite colors for stockfish. But for generic nymphing for stockfish, these 10 patterns you can't go wrong with. We can make completely different videos on dry fly fishing and streamer fishing for stockfish, but for nymphing, if you have some combination of these 10 patterns, I promise you, if you present the fly right, you will catch fish on one of these. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it helps some of you guys kind of dial in what you need in terms of flies as we approach our delayed harvest season. And if you have any questions, feel free to get up with us. Just Due South Outfitters. We're in Boone, North Carolina. We always love trying to help folks out. But until next time, tight lines.